Hello guys, out at the range today, Gene G Squared Tactical, and recently what I've been trying to do, rather than going out and buying more guns to review that is getting quite pricey for me to get all of the new guns to shoot, I have been trying to, as I always have, I've always tried to look in the comment section. It's becoming a daunting task. The more subscribers I get, the more people that comment. It's everything that my wife and I both tag teaming can do to try to comment back to every single person. But I've up until now I've done what I could do. So as time goes on, I won't be able to comment back to every single person that comments. But what I will promise to do is always look at the comments. So if someone has a suggestion, maybe if someone has a concern, maybe I can address that concern as I did with the P09C Nocturne. Came out two different times, run two different tests because, the Honest Outlaw had some issues with his. I wanted to come out and see what mine would do because I had the same setup as him. And then after I done that video, people started saying, of course, it seems like when one person has a problem, now all of a sudden everybody starts having problems. And I don't know if it's a bandwagon thing or what, but I come back out, did another video addressing some of the things that people had said in the comment section. Well, as of late, you know that I've not had the best of luck with Smith & Wesson. Some people even started hating on me, saying I was a Smith & Wesson hater. Not true. The FPC, in my opinion, is one of the best carbines under $900 on the market. I had nothing but great things to say about the 2.0 10 millimeter and the Performance Center, and I had nothing but great things to say about the Bodyguard. However, there were a couple of people. One guy was very, very specific about flat-nosed ammunition. Now, he asked me, he said, hey, have you run any flat-nosed ammunition? Have you had any problems? A friend of mine or something, and someone he saw on YouTube. So several people, not just one or two people, had issues with it feeding and not running flat-nosed ammunition. Now, I was going to ask him, why would you run flat-nosed ammunition? Because I just don't. I always run just a round ball ammo, or of course my defensive ammo. And so he answered the question before I even got a chance. He answered the question that I was going to ask him in his own comment. And he said, I wish I would have kept the message, but I didn't. I erased it that's the only way I can know if I responded to it or not. So I don't know, but he said the reason it mattered to him is because the defensive ammunition that he ran in 380 was very much like flat nose ammunition. And if the gun would not run flat nose ammunition, then he was not going to be able to purchase it. So he was holding out on purchasing it to find out. In my opinion, that's what we're here for. Whether I have to buy these guns, whether it costs me a small fortune, whether I get anything from anyone, really is irrelevant in my opinion. If I'm going to do the channel, that's what I'm here for, to address any concerns you might have, to help you make a decision, because that's what I wanted before I started doing YouTube when I was buying guns. So the only flat nose ammunition I could find, I ran everywhere today trying to find some, finally found some at Academy. And I got the Browning 380 FMJ. This is the training and practice ammunition. And I got the high quality Winchester white box. I have the 12 round magazine loaded up with the Winchester. So this is the Winchester flat nose. Not sure if that'll show up on camera, but there she is, loaded to full capacity. I did that off camera because that last round is a beast to get in there, and I didn't want y'all to see me struggling. I've got the 10 rounder, which is not quite as difficult to load up. I have it loaded up with the Browning. So I don't intend to stand out here and shoot all 100 rounds of this flat nose stuff. This has primarily been in my pocket since I've done the review. So it's got a little bit of lint and stuff on it. Most of the oil I put on it when I cleaned it's kind of dried up. So it's not in the best running condition, I guess you could say. But we're just going to see if it'll run this ammo. So it closed down on it. It did not catch on the feed ramp. I can only imagine that would be what his concern would be. Standing here at about 10 yards. If I miss, I miss. But just gonna put a couple down range and see how it does. I didn't lock back, but that's on me. I ride that slide lock. I can't help it. No matter how much I've changed my grip, it hadn't really seemed to make a difference. But that was the Winchester white box. As you can see, it went off without a hitch. This is the Browning. Again, have no clue until I start editing this of whether or not it shows up on the camera, but that is the Browning FMJ practice and training ammunition. And just going to see, maybe I can hit the slide release and see if it hangs up. No, I went straight forward, so it's the only two flat nose I could find. So again, don't come at me hard in the comment section telling me what an idiot I am for not adjusting my grip as some of you have. It's the way I shoot real life scenario. If I got a 12 round, 13 rounds basically in this gun, last thing I'm gonna be worried about is whether or not the slide locks back, but I'm not gonna adjust my grip. Standing here at 10 yards, hitting a tiny little silhouette down there, which I'll let you guys see here in a minute. That's good enough for me. So what I'm gonna do, rather than making you stand here and watch me reload these mags, is that I'm gonna load them up one more time because I have some more ammunition here I want to address as well that was a concern or another YouTuber I saw. But I'm gonna load up 2 more magazines, maybe try to rapid fire a little bit. And I think if it runs 4 total mags of flat nose, no hint at a problem whatsoever. Like sometimes if it hangs up a little bit, the slide, you can feel it while you're shooting, like the slide will go as if it's not going to go back into battery, and then you can kind of feel it catch and go into battery. None of that happened. It seemed just as flawless as it was whenever I was initially shooting it out here at the range with just my S&B and my Fiocchi. So gonna cut camera, load back up, be right back. Okay, so this time I switched it up a little bit. I put the Browning in the 12 rounder, and I do have one in the pipe. And again, I hope this is showing up for camera, but it is at full capacity here at 12 rounds, and I have one in the pipe because again, that you really have to beat that mag in there. So, you know, just so, you know, for the naysayers to say, well, you didn't have it in carry condition, maybe you need to do it from how you would actually be pulling it out of your pocket. So that's what I'm gonna do. So as you can see, it did empty out, no issues. Again, it is not locking back, but that's my fault. And I even tried to move my thumb there towards the end, trying to make it lock back just to prove to you it will. Maybe I'll try that this time, but I didn't want to limp wrist it or anything and it not feed. And he said, oh, I knew the flat nose ammunition wouldn't feed, but so far it's fine. It's going forward just great. So I don't know, we'll see. There it is. I was trying to adjust my grip the best I could so it would lock back. I suck at math. You guys know that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42, 43, 40, 45. No, I had it right the first time. 45. Man, I'm really suck at math. I'm not even lying. But you know, the thing that has surprised me the most about this gun, other than the fact of, you know, for being as small as it, yes, it is snappy. And if you'll notice it, that last mag I put through it, that very first one caught me off guard and kind of doing this number here. But it is a very snappy gun. And so, but you would expect that. But it's not as snappy as you would think. So, like when I pulled it out, I initially thought, oh my God, not this, you know. And even my kids said the same thing. That little thing is going to eat you up. But it's really not that bad. But even more surprising than that to me is just how accurate the thing is. Again, I'm gonna turn this camera around because I got some other ammunition I want to test here, and you can see that tiny little target I'm hitting here at about 10 yards, and that's just not something that's easily done with a noisy cricket sized gun here. So anyway, so there was another YouTuber that said that he was shooting the Barnes TAC-X PD, which is what I've always used for 380. It's not what I use on any other caliber, but it's what I use on 380. I always have. It's just been the most available in this area, and I've always used this, and I've always used it with, you know, with great performance. But he done a video where I guess maybe that's what he used as well, and said that it was terribly accurate, inaccurate, should I say. Like he's a good, decent shot. He's an average shot, and he just was well below average with it. No matter how much he tried to slow it down and tried to really focus on the target, it was just horrible accuracy. Well, so I wanted to answer the guy's question about the flat nose ammunition. I hope that I've done that. It does and will run without any problems at all. But this is more of a question for me because, again, it's literally what I had loaded up. Here's all the ones I had loaded up, or some of them anyway. I'm dropping them all, but here's all the ones I had loaded up in my mag when I came out here today. So that's what I carry. So I want to know. I want to know if it will, if it is that inaccurate. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to load up 2 magazines, both 12 and the 10. And I'll come back and then we'll get it turned around on the target again about 10 yards here. And again, I understand that is a little bit of a distance for a gun this size. Maybe I'll move into about 8. So I got the Barnes loaded up here. I'm going to start with the 10 rounder. Again, I hope this shows up on camera. Some people sometimes try to, but it's unmistakable. It's got the black tips on it. I got both of them loaded up to full capacity, and I'm just going to shut the camera off, turn it around, put it on the target, and then come right back and let you know how it shoots. Try to leave these targets set up. I have treated wood on those steel targets, and obviously that one in the center there is all steel. So to bring the paper out and have to put it back up, back and forth, can't leave it out, get wet and so forth. We just, you know, I'm going to shoot at this black dot in the center. That's an 8-inch plate, and I would say that that black circle in the center there is, what do you guys think? Maybe 2 inches, maybe somewhere around in there. I did move up to about, it's actually 7.8. So on the rangefinder, so that's where I moved up to, just going to shoot with my Barnes, which is what I've been carrying. So I hope it's accurate. Well, it didn't lock back. don't know if that's going to show up on camera or not. I got some shades on, so it's hard for me to see. Yeah, without the shades, it's not too bad. I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, there was a couple that went a little bit low, one or two that went low left. Looks like I had two of them that was low, one of them just low, one of them low left, two of them that were high, and then the other was right there in the black circle. So I think I'm okay with that. I'm going to try another one. I'm going to try the 10 rounder here because that's what I carry in it. Get a little bit better grip on the gun with it. Maybe it'll do a little better. I'm not sure. So I did have could have been limp wristing it though. We'll talk about that in a minute. I mean, I don't think that's too bad. I mean, I'm sure the trolls will get me because it ain't completely perfect. Let's see if we can zoom in. That's as much zooming as I'm going to get. I don't think that's that bad. So, yeah, I'm going to load up 2 more mags of the flat nose just for good measure. And I'll talk about probably wasn't a failure, but we'll talk about that here in a second. So I think I said a minute ago that I would rapid fire with the flat nose, and I remembered, because I'm an overthinker, literally while I was shooting on that target, wait a minute, I said I would rapid fire the flat nose, and I didn't. So I'm going to do that. Switched it up again, got the Winchester in the 12 rounder and the Browning in the 10 rounder. I don't think that I can John Wick these guns, because I know everyone loves it when I do that. You let me know about it all the time. It's the most awesome thing, most awesome part of your day. I know you really enjoy it. I'll try so I can do it real fast. Anyway, to address what happened while I was shooting, because I know the camera wasn't on me, the slide locked completely back. It wasn't a situation where it had got caught up on the feed ramp or anything like that. I'm certain that I hit the slide lock. Again, I've not shot a ton of defensive ammunition through this, and it does shoot differently. But as far as the accuracy on that, I mean, at almost 8 yards and a gun this small, I'm crazy happy with that. I mean, we're talking a 2-inch circle and in an 8-inch circle, and overall I didn't get anything outside of maybe 5 inches. So I'm happy with that. I don't think again, everyone shoots different with different guns and different ammunition. It's not speaking anything to the person that had issue with the accuracy on that. I'm not going to break camera, so if I'm not able to John Wick this, I'm really going to embarrass myself, but you know, it is what it is. It's all for you guys. So I am going to try to speed it up a little bit. Not bad, not bad. Wasn't great, but. So I do slap the trigger a little bit. My wife is going to kill me because them casings are hitting the Jeep hood. So anyway, yeah, she really is going to kill me though. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about it because she's sitting behind the Jeep. But anyway, so so fast as I could shoot. Well, not as fast as I could shoot, but pretty dang fast. And again, you know, the reset on this gun is, I mean, it's not tactile. You can hear it, but you can't really feel it. So I find myself just slapping the trigger. I mean, for me, when a trigger reset is not that great, you know, resort to slapping. Whatever, man, it works. Had no problems with the flat nose ammunition. I genuinely hope that this answered the guy's questions that had questions about that. I hope he sees this video. I genuinely do. I hope it helps you with your decision as to whether or not to buy this gun. And also, it you know, I feel comfortable with carrying the Barnes. I do have some Winchester silver tip that I was going to put in here, but I'm going to do that off camera. I won't bore you guys with that. Still loving the Bodyguard 2.0. It has been my summertime carry for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and that is shocking to everyone who knows me, because I was a 938 pocket guy, but this has been king for me for the last 5 or 6 weeks. I'm about 600 rounds in on it so far without issue. Just me, you know, me locking it back, me hitting the slide locker, riding it, and not letting it lock back. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Hit the thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. And please go over, check me out on Patreon. Just got a first monthly supporter the other day. Really, really appreciate that. Thankful to know Jesus Christ is my Savior today. Hope you have a great day. Again, subscribe, thumbs up, Patreon, and to God be the glory.